Hey everyone, so today I want to show you how I put the flat colors on on a drawing, on a line drawing like this one. I have created some actions in Photoshop that help me speed up the process. As you probably know, it can be quite time consuming to just go around and filling everything with colors, deciding you have to zoom in, and let's say if I create here a folder and I want to try to put in some colors, just that doesn't matter, and I want to go ahead and fill in those colors, then you have to either do it like this, and it can be really long, and you have to erase, and you have to go to the next one. Excuse me. And you have to erase again, and go to the next one. You get the idea. That can take hours. I mean, not hours, but it takes a while to just. And you think it's such a simple task, but you have to spend so much time doing it. It's frustrating. So if there could be just a way where you could just come in and fill in the areas like this. Like this, and it would work nicely, it'd be great. But as you can see, it doesn't work nicely, so if you just use the paint bucket like that, it doesn't give you a nice result. So you want to do a clean job, but you don't want to spend all day doing it. So I have come up with my own solutions, my own techniques to do this, and I'm going to show you the actions that I use. I've got here a set of actions that I'm going to make available for my patrons on Patreon, but also they will be downloadable from Gumroad, from my Gumroad account. So you'll see the links in the comments. And so if you're interested in any of this, just check the links, or and then follow this video to understand the process. How I use those actions to actually make the most of it. So that's what I'm going to explain right now. So I'm starting here with a line layer, just line layer like anybody could have done. As you can see, it's still quite sketchy. It's actually not perfectly clean. You know, the lines are still quite rough, but that's how I like it. My point here is that the technique works even if your drawing is not perfectly clean. I mean, if it's a really rough drawing, it might not work very well, but it might still do a good job for you. So it's a technique that still works, whether it is a perfectly clean drawing or not. So we're going to go with that and see how that works. So let's say I'm starting with this. I've done my lines. I'm happy with it. Now I want to start putting some colors in this character. So what I would do is I would go to my actions. I would choose the first action that I called prepare for colors. Then I'll just run it, and you'll see what happens. So there you go. So it creates a new separate file, so that you don't lose your first file. So that's your initial file. That's the new one. So it creates a separate one, and you can see there's this strange set of colors in the middle. So let's have a look at the layers. We now have 3 layers. There's the original lines down here. You don't need to worry about those. You just leave those alone. Then you got this thing with basically you have the primary colors here: red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, and magenta. Each of these colors are primary pure colors. And then you got a new layer here. This one is actually purely black and white, just actually the pure lines, the transparent, as you can see. I mean, it's transparent between the lines, and the lines are pure black, so there's no gradient or anything. So your lines have been transformed into this pure black. That is just for the sake of coloring in. This will disappear afterwards. You will get your initial lines back at the end, but for the sake of working or filling in the colors, my action has created these lines. So there you go. So the first thing you want to do is keep those colors in shot and move them maybe somewhere where they don't get in the way. And these are the colors, the only colors that you will actually be using at this stage. So it's not about, at this stage, it's not about filling in the right colors, the actual real colors, but it's about filling in the areas, separating the areas of your characters. So let's say if you have a skin color and you want to define just where the skin is, you would choose maybe yellow to represent the color of the skin. It's obviously not the final color that you want, but that you will put yellow everywhere on this drawing where you think the skin should appear. That's the idea. So so how do you do that? You select the paint bucket and make sure at the top here that the opacity is 100%, the tolerance is 0, it has to be 0. It may work if it's not 0, but to be fair, to be on the safe side, just keep it at 0. Avoid having anti-aliasing. You can have it on if you want, but honestly, better not to have it. Again, it will work, but it won't. You might have some glitches or some things that won't work properly if you keep it. Contiguous, sorry, and not on all layers. So keep those settings as they are here. It's the best settings for this example. So I'm going to start by the face, the skin. I'm going to choose yellow to fill in the skin, and I'm going to pick the color base, that top layer. Okay, I'm not going to color the color palette. I'm going to color on the color base. So there you go. I'm just going to fill in the face, and there you go. So it fills in clean, as you can see. It goes to the edges. There's no blurred pixels. Okay, it's just clean. All right. So you go on and fill in other areas. For example, here the eyelids, etc. Okay, as you can see, the color is bled into the eye here, and a little bit into that eye as well. That's because I didn't have closed lines here. So I'll come back to this later. I'll continue with the filling in colors for the rest of the body. So again, these colors are generic, so it doesn't have to be the actual final color. So I'm going to pick now the red. And as I said, you have to use those colors. This technique is not going to work, or it's not going to work properly if you don't use those colors. And it's only later that you will be able to change those colors to the colors that you want. But the aim here is not to have the right colors. The aim is to just speed up the process. Okay, so I'm showing you step by step. Here's I've done the hair all in red. I'm gonna choose green for the jacket, for example. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna fill in those colors. Here we go. I'm going to choose this light blue, the cyan, for these bits. So again, I could choose different colors. So what's important at this stage is that obviously if I've used the yellow for the face, I don't want to use yellow for the jacket, because otherwise these two colors will become, it will be yellow and yellow, so it will be just the one color, and then there will be no differentiation. So the objective is to differentiate the different areas. So sometimes you might find that you choose twice the same color for two different areas. Just make sure that they don't connect in any way. So now I'm going to go and pick another color for this. Let me just go ahead with that. I'm going to pick this one color for these ones. There we go. So as you can see, I'm not worrying too much about whether I'm leaving holes or areas that are not filled in. So for example, here I've got these areas that are not filled in, or these areas here that are not filled in, and it doesn't matter, because the technique that I'm using will fill in the gaps, and that's the beauty of it. You just fill in the general picture, and it fills in the gaps for you. Here, for example, I have a line that's not complete, so I'm going to complete that line. To complete that line, I'm going to just pick the pencil tool. Why the pencil tool? Because it doesn't have any shaded pixels, it's all just one color. I'm going to pick a black, there you go, and I'm going to finish this line here. There you go. Okay, so it's possible in every drawing there's always a few lines that are not perfectly tight, so you might need to come in and fix those. I'm going back to the color fill and complete this, because that's supposed to be that color. There we go. So let's continue quickly. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, the fingers have to be the same color. So I'm doing it real time here, so you can actually appreciate how much time it takes. Although, to be fair, with a bit of habit, you can go even faster than this. I'm going to pick some yellow for the gloves. So you see, for example, here I'm using the same color as the face, but it's not a problem because this yellow and this yellow are far apart, so they will not communicate. So if later on I want to replace that yellow with another color, it will not affect the face. So let's continue. I'm going to choose some red for these little bits here. Yeah, those as well. So let's go back to the face. I haven't quite finished with the face. I'm going to choose this light blue, the cyan, for the teeth. So yeah, let's fix those lines there on the eyes. So again, I'll pick black with the pencil tool. I'm going to just use a 1 pixel width and just draw a line here, just so I can separate those areas. That's it. And then fill in the eyes with different color. I'm going to use blue, for example, up, and then maybe purple for the eyes. Okay. So what we've got here is a rough coloring, but ideally, in the ideal world, you don't want these colors to not have black in between, and this action will do that. The action will make the black disappear and extend the colors so that they connect together. But you can see here where the eyelashes are, that there's a lot of black there, and I know from experience, from using this technique a few times, that this may not work exactly like I want. So you can come in and just do a few little things that will help the tool work better. So I'm going to use the pencil again, and I'm going to just draw some colors a bit more. So for example, here I'm added some yellow here around the eye here to tell my tool, my script, that this area has to be yellow. So there you go. I'm going to draw this the inside of the eyes. You can see by doing this, I'm just making sure that these areas will have the right color. But again, I don't mind about what's happening in the areas where I didn't fill the color, because it will fill in the gaps, and you will see what I mean later. So just keep in mind what's happening here in the eyes, and you'll see what happens later. We're nearly there, so it's nearly finished. But there's one thing that's very important, is to fill in the background with the white. So I'm picking the white, and this time I'm filling the background with white. And otherwise, if you don't do that, your character will not be. It will actually not work. You know, your character will. There will be an error in the process. So there's a need for somewhere in your picture to have a hole, if you want to have a one part that is transparent. So that's it. And as you can see, I don't need to go into more details. I've sorted pretty much that drawing, and I'm going to go to the next step. So you leave it as that. You go to actions again, and you select clean colors. Oh, by the way, I'll show you at the end quickly how to install these actions. It's pretty simple. Okay, so I'm moving to the next. This one's called clean colors. Basically, it's going to take that and turn it and just make it nice and neat. So let's run it and see what happens. I'm clicking here. There you go. So this one, I have to warn you, takes a bit of time. It's got some work to do, you see. So just give it a few seconds, maybe a minute, to do everything. Oh, that's it. And once the background is grey like this, it's finished working. And so let's see what happened there. What have we got now? So we've got a few more layers. We've got a background that's just totally grey. I can remove it. Let's see. We've got some colors group, I've called it. And here I've got lines group. These are the lines. So your lines and your colors are separate still. And I'm going to move closer. And I want to show you what happened, for example, here behind the eyes. You remember how I didn't fill in the black areas and I left some bits empty and things like that. So if I hide the lines, then you can see what the colors has done. They've basically spread themselves out and they managed to fill in the missing gaps. And that's how basically the colors are nice and neat, going right underneath the line. So if you look at a line in particular, I'm going to just go closer on this line here, and I'm going to make the line slightly transparent, maybe 50%. There you go. And you can see now how the colors have come right in middle of the line. The blue is spread in, the green spread in, and they both meet and join neatly in the middle of the line. So you're not left with any gaps, and it's all just very clean. That's it. It's done the job for you. So I'm going to bring this back up to 100%, and so now I've laid it out so that you can you have the freedom to change things. So for example, if I want to change the colors, so I would just go back to that color layer, maybe duplicate it. That's up to you now to do whatever you want. But I was just showing you what you could do. So I would duplicate this. I would choose a better color, maybe like a better skin color, say something like this. Alright, if I wanted to change the skin, and I choose my paint bucket, and I keep the same settings: tolerance, anti-aliasing, everything, all that is the same setting, and I just go in and fill it in. And that's it. So maybe another color for the hair. I don't know if you like it, brown hair like this. You go fill in. There you go. So you see, because these two touch here, these two areas, they're colored together because they're connected, but they're not connected here. So I'm gonna have to fill that one in. Now I can choose something else for the eyes. Up, the teeth. There you go. Maybe a color for the pupil. Maybe she'll have blue eyes, I don't know. There you go. Now she's got blue eyes. And here you go, and you keep going like this. So look at her body, for example. This all blue area would be one same color. If I wanted this to be, I don't know, doesn't matter, orange. Let's go for orange. If I click here, every part that is connected will be automatically filled in, as you can see. So it's very easy to come back in and just change those colors really quickly. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to show you what this layer actually looks like if I take it out of its folder, because the folder has an alpha channel here. So if I take it out and bring it up there, this is what it looks like. And you can see the colors have been spread out outside the character, and it's the actual alpha channel that just cuts the outline of the character. So there you go. Bring this one back in. There you go. And now you can paint your background to whatever you want. The other thing you can do is give some colors to your lines. So if you just paint that layer, or paint on a new layer, let's say I'll create a new layer here, and let's say I wanted to make the lines of a face a different color. Let's say maybe a dark red or something like that. And so I can go ahead and pick my coloring tool. This time I'll take a normal brush tool. I'll come in and I'll paint that layer, and up I'm giving the color, the line, a color. And it's it couldn't be easier, right? There you go. I'm keeping the eyelashes black. There you go. But you get the idea. This is how you could color your lines nicely, nice and clean. There you go. Just a quick example, really. Going the ear. There you go. Yeah, you get the idea. So there you go. This is how I put my basic colors in my drawings. I hope you found that interesting. I'm going to show you quickly how to load the actions. Once you've downloaded it, either from Gumroad or from Patreon, you would go into your action panel, which you will find, I believe, here in View. No, sorry, Windows. You have to activate the action panel here, Actions. So once you've done that, you can, oops. So it appears here, and yeah, so you would go in this little corner here, and you would go, where is it? Load actions, there you go. So you would click here, and then you'd find the location of the actions that you've downloaded, and they will appear here as a folder called Psychosan Color Fill, and then you have these three. So you, as you noticed, I haven't used actually Densify here. I've only used Prepare for Colors and Clean Colors. Densify is a separate action that is used by Clean Colors, so you don't need to use Densify. It's just a matter of making those actions more efficient. So that's why I separated it, but you don't actually use Densify directly. Oh, there you go. I hope this helps. I thank again all my Patreons for your support, and I hope to make more of those tutorials in the future. Alright, take care.